Today we're breaking down the Lamelo Ball 3s. Let's go. What's good, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's Zach here with Tamsters Kicks. Today we're breaking down these bad boys, the Puma Lamelo Ball 3s. Man, after the 2s, I've been super excited to get the Lamelo Ball 3s in. Hopefully change up some of that stuff from the past. I honestly was a big fan of the Puma MB 1s. 2s, not so much, but the 3s I'm excited for. Lamelo Ball, he's been hurt, but this man is a young guard in the NBA, and he's actually shown some talent. He can hoop, he can facilitate, man, and I'm excited to break these bad boys down. If you guys haven't seen a review from me, we're breaking down traction, cushion, support materials, fit, all that stuff in the video. We're gonna have videos of me playing in the shoes as well, nice B-roll, all that good stuff. Before we get into it, leave a like, hit that subscribe button. We're growing a little bit. I just appreciate all the support, but man, let's get into these. These are the Puma MB3s. They're the Lafrance colorway. They're Lamelo Ball's like lifestyle brand. That's that Lafrance, and it has that kind of nods along the shoe as well as on the box details, but these things are nuts. Like the Volt lime green color on these, low key with that like yellowish Volt color in there. It's kind of a little ugly, not gonna lie, in person, but like they're pretty fire. 125, a little bit of mix up from the 2s and the 1s, and breaking them down, playing in them. I was pretty excited to hoop in them, and they felt good on the court, so let's break them down. Traction pattern combines a translucent and a solid rubber outsole. I just am going to compare it to the MB1 and 2s throughout the whole video. The MB1s, I loved the traction pattern on them. Over time, they really started to pick up dust, and it was kind of hard to play in them. The MB2s were picking it up right off the bat. These ones, not as much, but definitely just a little bit. One thing about them, when I mentioned the translucent along with that like harder rubber outsole, you're going to see it also on the Zion 3s. I'm going to have that video soon as well, but that has kind of the same thing where you have this translucent part here and then a little bit of more hard, firm rubber outsole in the like forefoot areas. This one extends a little bit more into the midfoot, but just for kind of added support and stability, as a lot of players use that forefoot. That's like the most played part of the outsole is that forefoot area. So putting a little bit more durable materials there helps a little bit. And one thing I really love about the traction pattern here, it was sticky. It had a nice little bite to it as well, but like on the toe, you have this nice like kind of webbed herringbone traction pattern come all the way up here, not herringbone, but it just comes all the way up here onto the toe with that rubber outsole, and I really liked it, man. I felt like it had good coverage on the toe, and like someone like me, I break through this toe cap a lot on a lot of my shoes. I play a lot on my toes, cutting and stuff like that, and it did a pretty good job keeping it together. The cushion on the MB3 is very identical to the MB2. So you have molded EVA foam, which has been pretty much been a staple of Puma so far, and then you have kind of Puma mimicking Nike's setup where they have their air unit in the forefoot and in the heel. Puma also has that with their nitro foam in there too, so pretty good setup there. It does feel a little more firm, which is something I felt with the MB2s, but even with the 1s, when I played in them and broke them in, they felt phenomenal on foot. Breathability was something that I struggled with the 1s and the 2s. I want them to fix a little bit out here. We'll talk about that with the materials, but as far as the cushion goes, it just felt really solid. It's gonna take a little bit to break in, but that EVA foam as well as the Puma Nitro foam, little pads in the forefoot and the heel, gonna feel really good when they break in. Materials are composed of a multi-layered textile upper. So close up, you can see that there's a mesh layer and then another mesh layer underneath that. And that just kind of contributes a little bit. I thought it was gonna be a little more heavy on the shoe. You can feel a little bit more in the actual bottom of the shoe, but materials feel pretty nice up top. They go a little bit wider with the laces, which I thought gave a little better base to the shoe. Doesn't feel as like high up because they are a little bit more of a higher cut shoe. They've changed that from the 1s. I love the cut of the 1s. I didn't like it on the 2s. These ones are pretty similar to the 2s, so not as big a fan as that. But overall, the materials feel really good on foot. Not a lot of restriction, dead space. I wouldn't say it like blew me away with like being like overly like flexible or supportive in any ways, but it's just like a pretty solid like mid to high top basketball shoe that just keeps you locked in. So with the fit, the lacing system does feel pretty similar to the like the MB2s. They did go a little more wider, like I said, which I think contributes and helps a little more wide feet, which is like me. Because especially in the Puma 1s, I got an 11 and 11 and a half, and they fit literally the same. I didn't understand it. I ended up going with the 11s, and over time, as the materials broke down and like formed more to your foot, it fit well. So here I'd go true to size. They do fit a little more narrow, so watch out for that. I got a true to size fit, and they fit good, so you can probably just stick with that. Support it's just solid. Like I said, it's like a more of a mid to high top basketball shoe. Not kind of my style. It does give the same kind of feeling in some areas as like a Kyrie shoe when he had like the, I don't know, like the sevens. Like I love the cut of the sevens. I wish there was a little more dip in here. Like it's not so much like here and straight across. I wish there was a little more curvature in there. But the padding is not overdone in the heel and Achilles area. It's pretty soft in this back part too, which is nice. You have a little more, it gets more firm as you go down the shoe as this back heel. You have that heel counter back there. So all in all, the shoe is very well like constructed and put together. Just not like over the top, like amazing, I would say. Traction and cushion, we're going to 8.5 out of 10. It's pretty similar to the MB2s and the 1s. There were a little bit of differences. I think over time they'll probably fit and play in better to the shoe, but that's just my ratings off the bat. Materials, fit, and support, we're giving it all an 8 out of 10. Materials a little bit higher than the MB2s. For comparison, I like these better than the MB2s. Let's get that across. The MB1s though, I actually think I still like the MB1s. Now, over time, the MB1s did break down a little too fast, and they're almost, in my opinion, they're unplayable because of how much just you get so much dust and dirt collection, even on clean like hardwood courts I played in the college, on like the university courts. So they're very well kept, and they were just falling out all the time. So that stuff was not my favorite. But overall, with the MB3s, I hope over time it's not as like, it doesn't break down as much, but I think a little better traction pattern here. It's pretty sticky. So I think over time, they're gonna fit really well. But if you guys got the MB3s, let me know what you think. Puma's trying to come up a little bit here with some shoes. You got like Scoot Henderson coming in, stuff like that. But man, what do you guys think? NBA season's starting. I'm so excited. But leave a like, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you guys on the next one.